I will tell you a little bit about what's a Freiberufler, a freelancer in Germany, because if you understand what it would be, then you know if you are not a Freiberufler, then you are automatically a Gewerbetreibender. Yeah, that's why I will help you to understand what's this kind of business. Also, it's depend of kind of work you will do in your business. So we have specific jobs which are will be Freiberufler by definition from the government. So as you can see, the medical professionals like a doctor or something like that. So in this industry, it would be a Freiberufler and not Gewerbetreibender. The same like the professionals, the engineers, for example, or like me, if you make some advisory business or consultant business, then it would be a Freiberufler too, of course. And if you make some cultural stuff like artists or journalists, then same. And the last part would be the education part. If you're a teacher or educator, then you would count as a Freiberufler for the German authorities as well. And advantages that it would be that you don't need a trade license registration to the office. So in Germany it calls the Gewerbeamt. So it's less bureaucratic like a usual Gewerbetreibender. And of course you don't need to pay the trade tax, which is a part of the taxation, which I will explain you later. All right. So, and the next part, we will still talk about the legal forms. As you can see on the left side, it's the German words and the English words, and I tried to find the comparable forms in Indonesia. So, as you can see, we have 6 different legal forms. The most important one would be the first one and this one. So we'll focus about that. So Einzelunternehmen, so the freelancer, you could say, it's the usaha dagang. So as I guess maybe you know it. So if you start a business by yourself only and you don't make any special founding process like for the GmbH or something like that, then you're automatically a free Einzelunternehmen, so-called Einzelunternehmen in Germany. The second one would be the Gesellschaft bürgerlichen Rechts. It's like a firma in Indonesia. If you would make the same like Einzelunternehmer, but with minimum 2 people, so then you are a Gesellschaft bürgerlichen Rechts for the. So it's the definition. It's still the same, you could say, and you don't need any contract or something like that. It's this both are the easygoing ways to open a business in the first time. The third and the fourth one, it's the offene Handelsgesellschaft and the Kommanditgesellschaft. As you can see, the Kommanditgesellschaft is like the CV in Indonesia. This one are a little more bureaucratic because you need to go to the notary and so on, and yeah, you need to make a contract, and yeah, it's a special form. And I guess especially if you would like to still start a business right now, so it's not an option if you don't have any special constellations you would like to join in the process. That's why it's not so necessary to talking more about it. The most important one would be, in your case, the Einzelunternehmen, if you would make it only, and the GbR if you would make it with other people, or the UG or the GmbH, the Gesellschaft mit bürgerlichem Recht. It's the PT in Indonesia. This one would be the standard way if you would like to open high risk business, for example, or someone opened the. Could you deactivate your microphone, please? I don't know where it is. No problem. Okay. Yeah. These two. So if you would still open a business without any high bureaucracy, then it's the easiest way, from my perspective, to open an Einzelunternehmen first or GbR, so Gesellschaft Bürgerlichen Rechts, if you would like to keep it easy for the first time with a partner only, and if you would like to have a big business or high risk business, then it would make sense to open a Gesellschaft Bürgerliche GmbH to PT. So okay, if you make your choice which company you would like to open, so then we talking about how to make the business foundation and the registration as well. I focused about, like I told you, about the Einzelunternehmen and the GbR, the Firma, and the GmbH, the PT. So as you can see, that's the steps you need to know if you want to open this kind of businesses. As you can see, the partnership agreements, it's still important for you if you have the GmbH, because then it's a notarial process and they need to prepare a contract for you as well. If you still open an Einzelunternehmen or a Gesellschaft Bürgerlichen Rechts, it's not necessary to make a contract, especially if you make an Einzelunternehmen, because you make your business by yourself only, so you don't need a contract, of course. If you make a GmbH, it's not necessary by law, but I would advise to make a contract between you and your partner to make it clear how it works. And in the future, you will see it would make sense to have this contract, especially if maybe you get some trouble with them or you don't know what to do, next steps and so on. Then it's better to make a contract before something happens. Yeah. What's very important would be about the minimum capital, because if you still start your business as an Einzelunternehmen, you don't need a minimum capital as well. So if you don't have, for example, reselling business or open an Asia shop, like something like that, you don't need too much capital, especially if you have still a service business like advisory or something like that. If you would, that's why I told you to open a GmbH. It still makes sense if you would like to open a high risk business or a bigger business. So for example, if you would make some bigger business, then it makes sense to open the GmbH, because as you can see, you need the 25,000 euro as a minimum capital to open it. Of course, if you make the foundation, you still need to pay in 50% of it, but it's still 12,500, so it's not less as well. Of course, as you can see, the UG and the so-called Unternehmensgesellschaft is a small GmbH, you could say, with the same regulations in this most of time, but you still have to need to found it with still €1. But you have other regulations. It's a little bit more complex when you opened it already, how to work with the profit in the end. So I still want to tell you, it's possible to open a UG with still €1, but you have other regulations what you need to care about. But yeah, if you would like to have more information about that, then we could talk about it in the Q&A session, or maybe in a extra appointment. What it's important maybe would be that about the commercial register. So Einzelunternehmer still not registered in the commercial register as well. You could do that if you want, but it's not necessary. So you could add it's called Kaufmann in the commercial register, but of course it makes some more fees and you have more regularities. So in this case, it wouldn't make sense as well to enter in the commercial register as Einzelunternehmen or GbR. For the GmbH or UG, it's necessary. The notary will do it for you. So you don't have any other options to do that. And the same would be about the Gewerbeamt. In this case, both of them need to register to the Gewerbeamt as well. If you are Einzelunternehmen or GbR and you are Freiberufler, then of course, like I told you, it's not necessary because you are not commercial operator by definition. That's why. If you would do that, then you can see the cost of this funding. If still the registration to the Gewerbeamt, the cost would be between 20 and 30 euro. It's depend on the city you're living or the region you're living. So I get the Munich one would be approximately 60 euro, and if you are in a countryside, 20 euro would be the common sense, I guess. And yeah, as you can see, because you need to go to a notary to open the GmbH. So you can see the cost for the funding, it's higher, so approx 800 until 1,000 euro, because you need to pay the fees for the notary, for the commercial register, for the registration as well. And of course, the registration to the Gewerbeamt will have the same cost like the funding of the Einzelunternehmen. So in sum, you need to calculate it with 800 until 1,000 euro to open a GmbH beside the 12,500 euro minimum capital you need to pay indirectly. So if you need the minimum, let's say 14,000 euro to funding a GmbH as well. If you open a UG, then of course 1,000 euro would be enough, I guess. Okay, and after the registration to the usual commercial register and so on, then in the last step you need to register yourself to the financial office, because they still got the information from them that you opened a business, but they don't have any information about who are the owner and how much you will suspect to earn, and how much will be the revenue and so on, because they will have they need more deep information about the registration process, because the financial office will be the office you will working all the time together, and the commercial register and so on will still asking you about if you are GmbH, about the balance sheet to publish it only. So the focus will be on the financial office in the end to working with. So you have two ways to register your business. Of course, you could make it by yourself. So maybe some of you have the Elster entry already when you make your tax declaration by yourself, your private one. For this one, you need your private tax identification number. Everyone in Germany who living here have this one. You need it for the open a bank account and for the insurances and so on and so on, and especially for this to register your business as well. Then you could open your own bank, your own Elster account in this Elster portal, and then you could do it by yourself. If you don't want to do that, or you don't have the possibility to do that because you don't living in Germany right now and you don't have this identification number, then of course you need to hire a tax advisor, a lawyer, or an auditor who are able to do that, to make the registration for you as well, because we have special access to the financial office to make this stuff possible. Okay, and when the registration is done, then of course you will get your tax number, and if you apply for it, the VAT identification number. The tax number, it's still that the financial office has a file number for your case in there. So if you already made a tax declaration in Germany as well, you can see right now on the left side, on the top, on this paper, your tax number every year and your identification number as well. So if you already got it, so it's fine. If you open the business, it's possible that you get a new tax number, especially for your business. That's why it's sometimes some people make a mistake that if you think, okay, I already have my tax number, so I could still start a business without this registration process. That's wrong. You still need to register the business, especially for the VAT, because you have different regulations, and they need, as I told you before, they need the information about the period of the declarations you need to do for the business. And in this form, for the registration, you could apply for the VAT identification number. So it's a number that identificates you as a entrepreneur for the international business, especially if you would like to make import export in the EU. It's necessary to have this number because your clients in the EU need the information you are entrepreneur about this about the VAT regulations in Europe. So it's important to have it, but I would say it's not important you still make national or international business. I would say in general, it makes sense to apply for this VAT identification number in the case you will need it. And of course, usually you need to put the tax number on your invoices by law. But if you have the VAT identification number, then you could use it and you don't need to use the tax number as well. So it's better for you in this case than they don't know your personal tax number. So theoretically, they could call your financial office, because with the number you will find out which office it could be, and they could ask some information. With the VAT identification number, it's not possible. So of course, if you make the application by yourself, so don't forget to apply for the VAT identification number. Okay, and if everything is done and you could still start with the real business, you could say, so the bureaucracy is done, then of course every year you need to make a profit determination. And we have two cases how to make that. So in the one case, if you are still an Einzelunternehmen, you could make the income surplus statement, and it's not necessary to make the balance sheet or profit and loss, that it's more complicated and more expensive. So it's easier to make this, it's in German called Einnahmenüberschussrechnung. So it's still the profit. One second, my son comes in. Will you check it? That's my son, by the way. I guess you saw it before. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Come. Sorry. Yeah. So as you can see on the right side, that's an example for surplus income statement. So as you can see, it seems very easy, especially, okay, it's in German right now, but you still put the line, what's your revenues, what's your cost, and then what's your total return, and then you put in the tax declaration, then it's fine. If you need to do make a balance sheet, of course, it's more complicated, right? So if you have a GmbH, then you don't have other chance to make the balance sheet. But as long you still are Einzelunternehmen or Gesellschaft Bürgerlichen Rechts, GbR, so it's fine. So you could still do like this. It's easier, it's cheaper, and it's more clear for you, maybe. Okay, and the next step, I guess it's the most important one. You like to know which tax I need to pay in general for your business. So beside this, in this part, it's still the taxation beside the VAT. So we have three kinds of tax in Germany. It's the incoming tax, it's the trade tax, and the corporate income tax. The income tax, of course, it's like the pajak penghasilan in Indonesia. So you still need to pay it for your private income, and of course for freelancing business. The Gewerbesteuer trade tax, I guess, it not exists in Indonesia as well. This kind of taxation, which would be the same. So this one, it's for every businesses beside the freelancer businesses. So you need to pay it. It's approx 15% of your profit. It's depend on the region you're living. It could be a little bit less or a little bit more. It's depend. For example, Bavaria, it's cheaper, and for example, North Rhine-Westphalia, it's more expensive. So it could be between 15 and 16% in the end. If you have it as if you have an Einzelunternehmen, so or commercial operator business as a GbR, it deducts your incoming tax, so you don't pay double. So it reduces your incoming tax only in the end. So in the end, you still pay the incoming tax if you are living in the good region for it. And the corporate income tax, of course, it's still for the UG and the GmbHs as well, because that would be that's a tax for non-natural person, you could say. So that's just the GmbH as well, and there's already all that pay the trade tax too. So the total tax for the GmbH would be 30%. Yeah. And for the income tax, as you can see, it's a progressive tax system, and how much more you earn, how much you will pay for the tax. I guess that in Indonesia, I guess it was between 5 and 48%. You still have the same kind of system in Indonesia. So I guess you know how it works. And especially if you're living in Germany and you make your income tax declaration every year, you know it as well, I guess. So if not, then you could ask the question, the Q&A. Okay. So, and the next step would be the overview about the VAT, because we have this special part about the Kleinunternehmer, the small business. And there we have the requirements that if you don't need to invoice VAT and pay VAT in Germany, if your revenue in the year of foundation or in the previous year would be not more than 22,000 euro. And if 50,000 euro for the next year. Important to say is that the 22,000 means for the whole year. So if you're funding, for example, in the 1st of July, so you don't have the 22,000 euros, still have 11,000 euro, because it's the amount of 22,000 is still for a whole year, not for a smaller part, because the VAT, it's a yearly tax. It's because in the other ones could be different, depend on your business model. For the GmbH, for example, it could change when you pay the Körperschaftsteuer, so the corporate income tax. So and I guess if you buy some stuff in Germany before, so you know the VAT rate, we have two of them. It's 19%. It's the regular VAT rate, and of course the reduced VAT rate. It's especially for food and water and so on, and other special stuffs. So you need to care about it, especially when you have a business with different kind of services or products. So you need to check which product need to be use the regular VAT or the reduced VAT. But yeah, that's very individual. So that would be a topic for another discussion. And last but not least, that's the deadlines for the tax return in general. So because we have this COVID situation, we have expanded deadlines. As you can see, I show you the deadlines for the years of 2022 until 2025. So as you can see, in the regular, so the TA means tax advisor. If you have tax advisor, the deadline will be expanded as well. And you have in regular, you have, let's say, 1 year longer time to make your tax declaration, to transmit it to the financial office. And then it would be fine. If you do it by yourself, as you can see, so for example, for 2022, the deadline is already over. So it was in the 2nd of August. And if you would have tax advisor, you still have time until next year, the middle of next year. And it would be reduced in the future because the COVID situation hopefully is over forever, I hope. So if you can see where in general after this special regulations you have 7 months time after the year it's done to make your tax declaration for the business and of course for yourself as well. And for the VAT advantage returns, which you need to do if you're not a Kleinunternehmer, as you can see, that's why you need to make this registration, this interval you need to declare will be fixed from the financial office with the information you gave them. It's depend on the revenue, how much you will earn in this year. So it could be monthly, quarterly, or yearly. And that's, yeah, you still have time until the 10th after this period it's done to declare it. If you have a special application to expand this deadline for 1 month, if you pay, let's say it was like 10% of your last year revenue as the VAT for the revenue VAT to pay it, that your deadline would be expand 1 more month. Yeah, that's important to say. I guess that's it's a little over about it. I mean, I could talk about much more about this topic, but yeah, I guess it would be too much. So I thank you very much for your attention at first, and I hope you have many questions, and I'm happy to answer them right now.
Thank you, Mr. Sascha. Okay, friends, let us start it. Is there any question? No one? Oh, no one.
Saya udah nanya.
Mau tanya Mbak
Banget
Dendi.
Okay, okay.
Sudah ada yang raise hand.
Let me check it out. Okay, Mbak Kata.
So thank you for the presentation, Sascha. I have plenty of questions because I have been thinking about being a Freiberuflerin for 3 years, but then yeah, there is no courage and not enough information. So this is perfect timing that you have this presentation. So some questions, because I read when I wanted to register in the not tax office, Finanzamt, I think like the advice was maybe have a couple of clients first and then register. Is that correct? Because now, like, if I have the opportunity here to start with like teaching maybe a couple of classes, so there is not much. It's like 4 hours maybe per week. So should I start registering first or see later if I get to the kind of buff the 520, I guess, the free one? Or it doesn't matter how much I earn, I have to register and get the tax number. Shall I ask all my questions or this one?
Maybe you can repeat it, Mbak Kata, to make it clear. Yeah.
So the question is, should I first register before I actually started working as freelancer, or should I have a client first and then later on register as a freelancer? Welkom zuerst. You are still mute, Sascha. Sascha, you are mute.
Okay. All right. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. By law, usually you need to register your business when you already start with the to publish it. So if you offer your service to others, then theoretically you need to register your business then. So it's not important you already have a client or not. It's still about your business is published or not. So that's how the rule would be. If you start a business, then theoretically you have 6 weeks time to register the business for this time. So that split would be important. You shouldn't wait until you have your first client, because if you register it too late, then of course, before you have your first client, you have some costs for advisory, and so on. So maybe you have some costs before, and if you register it too late, then you couldn't, claim this cost for the tax. That's the point. So of course, it's the 2 different registrations: for the Gewerbeamt and for the financial office. The Gewerbeamt is more strict, like the financial office one. So theoretically, you need to register it to the Gewerbeamt already if you publish the business, to start your business, and so on. In the financial office, it's not. It's more liberal, you could say. If you register the business, which started, let's say, in the 1st of January, you could still register it there in July or something like that, right? So
I am actually like a teacher, or then I also do
you're
consultancy for
freelancer. Okay,
NGOs, so freelancer. So
okay, you're
only Finanzamt. No?
Only Finanzamt. Yeah, then it's
okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, then it's more liberal, of course. Usually, so you don't make more than the 22,000 per year, I don't, right?
Not yet.
Okay, so they are more liberal in this case. Theoretically, you already need to, if you publish that you give your service to others, so you need to register it. But in your special case, because you are Freiberufler, it's more liberal. In the worst case, if you still declare it when you make your next income tax declaration, would be fine. But of course, it would be easier to do it right now. So the registration should be done already.
So the question is, do I need a different tax number, or can I just use my current tax number?
That's individual by the financial office. Usually, that's the problem. I couldn't say it. They don't have a standard process, especially between the different Bundesländer. It's difficult sometimes. So you are married?
I am married, yeah. So
okay, then the possibility is high that you will get a new tax number in this case, because it's still this tax number. It's still, like I told you, that you are filed in the financial office, and of course they said usually okay, because you make this Einüberschussrechnung, you get a special tax number for this case and for the VAT as well. So, but it's not a problem if you don't. If you take your actual tax number on your invoice, it wouldn't be a problem as well in your case, because you are Freiberufler, and I told you that's the most liberal bureaucratic way, you could say, in Germany to make business.
But Freiberufler also need VAT number.
Yes, because the VAT, it's for every entrepreneurs, and it's not important which kind of entrepreneur. You still, in theoretical way, if you're not a client, you need to pay the VAT.
Okay.
Even, of course, I guess your service is in general tax VAT free, but yeah, you need to declare it even, because theoretically it's possible that you make some services with VAT, and then it's important how much you earn. That's why everyone, even a Kleinunternehmer, need to make a VAT declaration per year.
Thank you very much. So maybe
You're
the
welcome.
other one first. Aziza, I think, want to ask a question, Mbak Denny.
Sascha, thank you very much for the presentation today. So actually, I have, I think, still related question with Katarina. So I have an opportunity, like an offer to do freelance from time to time. I didn't really say yes to the offer, because they're asking if I'm gonna be capable to issue an invoice. So I'm not sure what does it mean. Like they're saying whether I have a tax number. Yes, I have, but they're still not sure how the position as a freelancer will be, because I still have my main job working in the office, but also like I would like to do some freelance as well. So how the to navigate the situation.
So you have a business beside your employee actually, and you make a side business.
Yeah, I'm an employee, but I don't do business like by myself, just freelance, like doing some event organization or something like that, or a science gig that, you know.
For the same company, so you employ and staff, as you make this service
No,
to your company.
different company.
Okay, so what is the question about this problem in special?
The problem was they're asking if I will able to issue an invoice. So I think I have to bill them for my working time.
So for your clients, not for your employer.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, yeah, of course. If you make some services in general, you need to invoice it as well. Because even you are Kleinunternehmer, I guess, because it's the side business, you're still Kleinunternehmer because of the VAT. They need some invoices to prove the costs for the financial office, of course. The problem that's why in Germany we have the law that theoretically everything what you which service you make, you still need to invoice it in a document as well. Even it's still a small notice here, please send me the 500 euro to my bank account, for example. That the financial office know, okay, then that we have almost a guarantee that you declare it as your income and the other part will declare it as cost. That's why that's necessary to invoice every services you give out. Yeah.
So that means I will also need a VAT number as well. So my tax number itself is not going to be enough.
So you're not registered your business already to the financial office, I guess?
No, because it's not like my business. I just do it on my free time, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's not the financial office make no differences between this situation, because business is business. It's not important beside other job or full time as a business owner. That's in the same case. They still work as the same process for the financial office. So you need to invoice it, and of course, in your case, so you make the services. Maybe it's still Freiberufler too. Then it would be easier. If not, then which kind of services you provide actually?
It's organizing an event. Like I'm living in Berlin, so we have a lot of events going on related to science where I'm work my daily job as a scientist. So they need people to help to organize a science exhibition or something like that. So and they offer to pay as a freelancer.
I see. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's Freiberufler job. Of course, you need to invoice it, and then in this case, you should use your personal actual tax number. Then it would be okay for the first time. If you organize events for the embassy, for example, then of course it would be yeah, it's not so difficult, I guess, because they are liberal too, as I know, and yeah. For them, it's not important about the VAT refund because they already got it. Yeah, but you need to invoice it as well. That's important. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they ask, especially if they're asking for it, because they have the right to get invoice in the end by law.
So there's an additional question from Katarina. In my case, would it be better to have two different tax ID number as an employee and as a freelancer?
That's the same question would be, you are married?
I'm married, yeah.
Okay, then in Berlin, let me guess. So if you are free, if it would be a Freiberufler, then especially in Berlin, I guess it works like that. If you are a Freiberufler, then you could use your private tax number as well. If you have a Gewerbe, so the operator, the trade operating, then you get a special invoice, a special VAT number and the tax number as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I told you in the presentation, my advice would be that you apply for this VAT identification number, because it's working in general, that then you don't need to care about which tax number you use for your invoices. You still need to use the VAT identification number, then it's fine as every time. So you don't need to worry about you make a mistake or not.
I see. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you. Yeah, it's a good question. And yet,
Yes.
do we have more questions? Ah, yes.
Hi, Sascha. This is Santi
Hi.
here. To be
Hi.
honest, I'm so exciting to know you because I have a feeling maybe in the future we can work each other. So the story is we have a company here based in Berlin. It's a
Yes.
GmbH.
Uh-huh.
And then this is so I think my partner also in Indonesia is in this. I think he's in. So we have a business, and to be honest, it's not running yet because we are in process of getting license, and we have consultant and legal team, which is we hire. You said you're based in Cologne, isn't it?
No, I'm a CEO of the Deutsche Gesellschaft that's based in Cologne. I'm based in Aschaffenburg. It's in Bavaria. But I work in digital, so especially because I make the international part. So yeah, I'm full digital, and of course, usually I plan to go to Berlin once a year because I have some clients there, like the Indonesian coffee or the embassy or something like that, and I need to go there sometimes.
It's just exciting for me because you have a touch to Indonesia, and our company is between Indonesia and Germany. You know, right now we have a tax advisor, which is Ecofis. It's quite big company, I believe, in Germany. But
yes, I know.
Yes.
It's, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We are with them now, working with them. But it was exciting to know you because you know about Indonesia. I don't know if you're married in Indonesia, maybe. So the one thing is that made exciting. My question right now is related to nowadays there's a lot of people working remotely, right? So if the case is someone, for example, just take it. My example is say me. Working with the contract in Indonesia company, so I got payment in Indonesia, and then do I have to claim it to tax in Germany? Because I understand if it's a 10,900 something per year, then is no tax, non-taxable, isn't it? How if I get paid? This is not about me, but say for example, it's me. How if I get paid? If we convert it to rupiah, I got paid is below this. Do I still have to, for better safe, do I have to claim it to tax for finance as well here, or I just quiet silence because anyway I got paid in rupiah? What do you suggest on this?
Okay, yeah, we have this national tax agreement between Indonesia and Germany, and they regulate which country could tax your income. And in your case, as I know, so you're living in Germany, you don't make some business trips to Indonesia, you're still working from here, right?
Yeah.
So usually it's the right to tax your income, it's still on the German side in this case. So theoretically, you don't pay any tax in Indonesia, and you still claim your income in Germany and taxes as well.
How if I convert it to euro and it's capping in between the 10,900, which is below 10,000? Do I still have to?
Okay, so you still get your salary on your Indonesian bank account and not on the German one or something like that, and you don't change it, so you don't transmit via Wise or something like that to Germany.
But they say in the next year is going to be banking each country will be. That's a little bit make me scared. I mean, like they say it is going to be in the future connecting in each country will be a banking system, isn't it? So I don't know if it will be implied soon, but they say it's going to be next year. But say it's not happening, but do I still have to be quiet because it's anyway it's sending to bank account in Indonesia, or should I have for my safe life in Germany? Do I still have to report it? What you suggest?
Yeah, as a tax advisor, I would say you still need to declare it as well. Yeah, I guess then in Indonesia you get taxed as usual, right?
Yes,
For your
yes,
income. Okay,
yes.
okay. Theoretically, you need to tell, so, but the government don't know that you are not in Germany. I guess in
No.
your Indonesian tax declaration, you still give your Indonesian address.
Yes, so it's for me it's considered like a remote job because nowadays a lot doing people remote job. You know, you get a contract out of country, but you live in this Germany in this case.
Okay. Yeah, usually, if you would make it in correct way, you need to inform Indonesia that you are not working from Indonesia, so you're still in Germany. And then theoretically, you get the relief of the Indonesian tax, and of course, you need to declare the income in Germany as well.
So if I convert it below below this 10,900, that means I'm still non-taxable, right? I mean, not under the capping of tax.
It's you're taxable as well, but this first 10,908 euro, it's tax free.
Yes, it's tax free. So
It's tax free.
Is it is it low like we make it like capping it, just try to be safe to below 10,900. Basically it can be above that, but if we convert it to euro, it's gonna be above the 10,900, then it's gonna be tax under tax.
Still the income over this 10,980 euro. Yes. So if you have 11,000, then you still pay for the 82 euro still the tax, and the tax rate started from 15%.
Yeah.
And as for cost, you have some tax, you could claim some costs beside it, so the cost for your home office and so on. So I guess in the end, if you have a total salary, let's say, for about 13,000 euro from Indonesia, then of course it would be tax-free because the cost would reduce your income under this the taxable line, you could say.
Yeah. Okay.
And of course, we have the public insurance here, I guess.
Yeah. Well, right now is the thing is because the company is still under making a license thing, so it's need some process, of course, for the BaFin. And then but of course I'm doing some job here, so what is agreement is I'm still in the contract with the Indonesia company in this case, which is the company who want to expand to Europe. So the contract is still Indonesia, but I live in Germany, and I decided to quit for my job here, so I consider like unemployment here. But there's other things also. Maybe it's the next question. Say like my husband is German and he's earning, and then me in here is unemployment. So what's the number of tax class is gonna be the best in this case, because I consider low, right? Is it 3.5 is the best, or maybe you have
3 is the best one for married couple, and 5 is the worst one. And the 4 is still the usual one. It's compared to the tax class 1 as a single.
All right. In this case, it's 3. Okay,
but it's still necessary. It's still not important, because in the end of the year you still pay the same tax, even you have the tax class 3 or 5.
Yeah, that's true.
Still the question when you get taxed. It's not about how high would be the taxation. It's still the time period.
Yeah,
which changed.
that's true. Yeah. All right. As for now, is I think that's well, that's the big question. If I'm with the contract of Indonesia and pay Indonesia, and how is it to imply to a tax in Germany, which is I got the answer already. Thank you. As for now, yeah, I'm done.
Right. About this exchange rate, I have a database about the monthly exchange rate which the financial office will using for the VAT, and that you can use for this one too as well. Or you check the daily exchange rate when your invoice got paid out on your bank account.
Okay, is that possible for you to share the link that you usually use as a reference here for the text?
I could because they publish it every month. So for the last year, I have for the last year and until September this year, we have this exchange rate for the VAT. But for the future, of course, they will publish it in an extra note.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I saw something here from Mbak Katao. For additional to this question, do I understand it correctly that Sansan still needs to declare the income in Germany, even though the taxable amount is not able to tax free amount?
If your total income is less than this tax-free range, then of course it's not necessary to declare to claim the tax as well. But of course, if you, for example, if you have opened a business, then this rule it's not working. So they say, okay, if you have a business, even if it's a small business, you need to declare your tax, even the income would be less than this 10,908 euro.
Thank you. Mbak Kata?
Yeah, thank you. That's very clear.
Okay. Okay, is there any other question? I saw somebody wrote here.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm
We
actually.
cannot see you.
Oh, you cannot see me?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're blur. Yeah.
A minute.
Maybe it's better for Mr. Sascha. Us, all of us.
Can you see me?
Yes, now it's
Yes,
there.
yes.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm actually in a student visa, and my visa is already ended, and I sent a email to Ausländer Ambassador for an appointment. They gave me an appointment on 27th, so I'm changing my visa to job seeker visa. So actually, I studied business administration in entrepreneurship, and I wanted to start a company. So I don't want to just straightly go into job seeker visa. I don't want to straightly go into self-employment visa. So I want to try out my business. So can I do that in job seeker visa?
Oh, that's it's more the question about the visa law, not about taxation. In the taxation law, you don't have any limitation who could open a business here. But of course, the visa could be a problem. It depends which visa. Maybe you will get a blue card or still seeking visa.
Job seeking visa first, then I will try out my business. Then if it's okay and I'm earning enough, then I will go for job for the self-employed visa.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not so sure about this the visa rules right now.
Can I talk on this? Because your case, I think, similar like my case. So if you want to start a company here, when I started GmbH, I was in the job seeker visa as well. So it's, the question is, the answer is possible. So yeah, so well, when I started, I was in job seeker visa, and after that, after you create your company and it's up, then they will come to interview you, and after that they will decide to give you a self-standing visa, which is 2 years or 3 years, depends on. So your situation is same like mine.
Ja, we wachten daar stellen.
Uh-huh.
Ich hab jetzt Meeting, komm. Ich möchte dieses ausgeschaltet hier.
And my another question is, so I already have 3 clients, and now I'm not getting any money from them, but I already started giving service to them. So how should I charge them? Should I charge them now and give them the receipt later, or how does it work? How do I make the taxes for it if I already given out if I already given out the service and I got the money back?
I see. So which kind of service it would be? So it's advisory or?
No, I'm developing a website for 3 of my clients.
Okay. Okay.
And
Usually
just
you should register your business because this one, it's not a Freiberufler business, so you need to register it to the Gewerbeamt as well too. So yeah, you should register it right now. Especially you could claim the cost if you do it now.
okay.
Right, because you I guess yeah, you even the software maybe or the laptop, for example, you could claim for the tax if you use it for your business as well. But of course, you need to register your business first.
Okay. And if I'm buying some services from India, so I have to pay taxes for that because, sorry, I'm paying taxes for that service which I'm getting from India as well. So should I mention that tax also in my taxes or no?
Of course, it's still costs for your business as well, so you could claim it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, the next question maybe? Oh,
Maybe I can ask some, I mean, I don't know if it's a question or just share something.
please.
Yeah. So the case is like this. My husband, maybe he get bored maybe, and then he just said, I want to open a company. And then he went to get the tax number, so this GmbH things and so on, but he never start a business. So every year we pay with we have to make a report, and that is our we didn't get any profit because there's no business anyway going on during the year. But do you think if we try to start the business and then it's not reach the limit that we have to pay the taxes or something, is that possible? Or
Okay, so it's a GmbH or it's
yeah.
okay. So you want to use it for other kind of business?
Is it possible as well, or have to, because there's like he registered as a consultant company?
Yeah.
Or,
So if you so in the Handelsregister, so in the commercial register, you still have the information which kind of business the GmbH give to others, and if you change it, you need to change that in the register too. So theoretically, you need to go to the notary and change this.
Okay.
And then, of course, I guess this change maybe costs maybe 100 euro or something like that. It's not so expensive like you so you open a company. So, but you still need to do that by the law, and of course the tax number and others compared with the financial office wouldn't change as well. It's still about the commercial register only that you need to change it, and of course the Gewerbeanmeldung in the Bürgeramt.
Okay. All right. Because it's passive income, so let's say so. No, it's no profit income.
No profit income. Yeah. Yeah, it's not possible to change in an NGO, but yeah.
Yeah. So
but yeah, if you don't, I mean, it's not important. It's profitable or not for a GmbH. So because the law said it's a company, and then it's done. If you are a freelancer, for example, and you don't make any profit for let's say 5 years, the financial officer will asking, you have any motivation to make profit? If you say no, then they say, okay, we don't accept the cost of the company as well. And then they change the tax assessments and so on. And then it could be expensive, but in the case of GmbH, it's not possible. And it's never happened in my lifetime that something like that could be discussed with financial office.
All right. Thank you. So, next, maybe? Another question, maybe?
Denny.
Yeah.
I just had the follow-up question from the Sascha answer for Arjun. So about this initial capital, like any initial cost, like you're saying, oh, it's better to register so then all the costs can be actually used for the Steuererklärung, I guess. So, but when we started and then already have the laptop, the printer, and all those things, it's not possible then because we already bought it maybe a year ago or something. It's not possible to still claim that as an initial cost.
Yeah, so especially for a laptop or something like that, we have, so if you buy a laptop, let's say a MacBook for 1,000 euro, so you could claim it in the year you buy it as well, but the cost wouldn't be reduce your income at fullest. Especially for laptop, it's over 800 euro. Then you split the cost in the next 3 years. So if you buy it last year and laptop was more than 800 euro, then let's say make it easy, it's 900 euro as well. So it's 300 euro per year. So you could claim for the last year, it's already done, of course, because you don't have the business as well. Maybe you could use it cost for your usual employee income or something like that. But for this year, for example, if you bought it last year, you could claim the 300 euro as well. And in the next year, the 300 again. And then you still have claimed the 600 of the 900 euro for the tax reduction.
Thank you.
Good. Is there any other question?
Yeah. Hello. Connected to the previous question, is it only within a year where we bought the equipment things related to the company, or is it possible like 2 years ago but forget to claim? Is it possible to?
You forgot to claim it only.
Yes. Say like 2 years ago or 2 years ago.
Okay,
Is there any maximum years can we claim?
You could for incoming tax, for example, you could claim the tax until 4 years after the year it's done. So actually, it would be you could claim the tax actually until 2019, I guess. 2018, sure, 2018. Yeah, it's possible to go back to until 2018 if you don't claim it right now. If you have still made it and you got this tax assessment, then you need to check it's possible to change this assessment or not. Then you can see it on the assessment as well. It's possible or not. Then it's called Vorbehalt der Nachprüfung.
Okay. And the claim have to be under the company name, or is okay also with my name itself, but it's for the company use. But I bought that for example, I bought it from Amazon, but under my name, but I didn't put the company name.
For the GmbH, you mean, or?
Yeah, GmbH.
Theoretic, for the problem is if it's you're under your name, not under the company name, you don't got the VAT refund, because as well, if you have a VAT revenue, then of course you could still get the cost you have, the VAT you get back from the government as well. But if it needs the invoice on the company's name or not on your name, you could, if you could prove that the cost which you are paid and it's invoiced from on your private name, it's for the company, then of course you could claim the costs, included the VAT as cost only, because you don't have the VAT refund possibility in this case. You could declare it as cost for the GmbH.
Okay.
And then of course, in the best way, you got the money back from the GmbH for the money you paid for them.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Any
I-
additional? Yeah.
I have a question. So I have 3 partners, and one of them is in Indonesia, India, and US. So when I'm paying them their shares, amount of money which I get from shares, how does the tax work for each country, or they have to pay tax only in Germany or on their own country?
It's not a GmbH, it's a GbR, also Gesellschaft bürgerlichen Rechts, right?
No, I'm going to start a company as UG, not GmbH.
Ah, UG, okay. It's working, so we make the payout, right? So the withdrawing taxation would be work here. Usually when you make the payout from the GmbH, you need to declare it, right? And then you need to pay 25% of it as the withdrawing tax. And it's for everyone who is the owner of the company as well. So in the first way, you need to pay the 25% to the financial office, and then we have this national tax agreements, and they state how much Germany could earn for the taxation, and how much the US, India, Indonesia as well. It depends how high would be the shares, so how high would be the percentage of the shares from your partners.
4 and 3%.
4 and 3%.
Yeah, 4% of shares and 3% of shares for 2 of them.
Yeah, and it's different country agreements. So theoretically, I need to check it, but yeah, the withdrawing the taxation would limit it, I guess. That 15% would be taxable in Germany. So, but I need to check. It's still the general rule. It could be changed, especially in the US side, because this agreement is very special as well because of this this worldwide taxable income from US citizens. But yeah, usually, so in general, you need to declare when you make this payout, and then you need to pay the 25% growing tax to the financial office in Germany.
Okay.
And in the next steps, they need to check the individual agreements between the countries, so India, Indonesia, and the US, how much theoretically Germany could earn from them, and then they could make an application to the financial office of Germany. It's called Bundeszentralamt für Steuern, and they could apply for the refund for the differences between the 25% and the percentage, but it's only possible to be taxed in Germany. And the other part would be still taxable, so the differences would be taxable in the other countries. So that's the national regulations, because dividends still taxable in the country you're living. So, but this withdrawing tax, it's the regulation special, which limited. So I told you until 15% it's possible from the German side, and the other countries still have the possibility. Let's say that, let's say in India, it would be the tax rate for the dividends would be 30%. So the 15% reduced from the Germany side, reduce the tax in India to 50%.
Okay, so first we have in Germany 15%, they will reduce it. And after it goes to India, he has to file it again, and 30% of the money will.
Yeah, because this withdrawing tax, it's general for everyone, and then in the next step, when you know, okay, what's from the agreement between the two countries, what's really possible for the German company to get taxed from your partners, and then of course in general I could say they pay too much as well, but then they need to make the application to the Bundeszentralamt für Steuern to get a refund of the difference of this tax. And to be honest, it's very difficult right now, because I have some clients, they have the same problem, and the time period between the application and the refund, actually, if you don't go over the embassy, what I done before, it could be until 16 months actually.
Oh, that's bad. Actually, sometimes when we have profits, they just get around 10 euro or 15 euro sometimes. So those 15 euros, I don't want them to wait for 18 months to get it.
Okay, yeah, that's it. That's okay. I was thinking about maybe some €1,000 or something like that. Then, of course, so you still transfer the money and you don't make any application, also any tax returns about it for the withdrawn tax, right?
Now I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm just
yeah, okay.
giving them, whatever I earn, share of it, but I'm not taxing them for now.
I see. Okay. So my advice in this case would be to make it easier. It's not a payout, it's still a credit for them. So it's the credit is tax-free. So and then if the amount is high enough, then you could make this apply for this, that you make a payout of the profit for the total profit of the company, and then of course you say, okay, you get, let's say, €10,000, and of course the credit is €10,000. We don't pay out for it, and but of course the withdrawing tax you need to pay. But it's easier than you still make a declaration for every payout of €10, and the taxation would be later. And the problem about the refund application would be later too. And you still make one application, not 100.
Okay, so so if it's less than €500, then I can give them the money as a credit.
Yes.
Okay, it's not.
Or they may, or then give you an invoice about a service for the GmbH, for the UG.
Okay.
Then it's costs in the UG, and they need to declare it as usual income for business.
But he's also in my register. He's also signed in my register. Then
it's not forbidden that a business that a shareholder could make business with the GmbH or UG they owned for. It's important that the service need to be invoiced to a fair price. That's the only rule.
Okay. So he can, even though he's a shareholder, he can still give me invoices and I can pay him out.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much for all the questions. We learn also from the questions, for sure. And the time is almost up. It's 3 minutes before 12:30. Maybe the last question, or we will show no one. Okay, so before we finish the session today.
Rainer.
Okay. Bitte schön.
Hallo, ich bin Danilo.
Please switch on the camera, maybe.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Is this on?
Ja, now it's on.
Okay. Ich habe auf Englisch, no? Oder auf Deutsch?
English, please.
English. If I have a small company, we call it in German kleine Unternehmen. This is just an example. And then because this is non-tax register, below, what was this, 22,000 in years? What about if, for example, I would like to send my things to Swiss or Gross Britannia? How should I make my Rechnung? What?
So you're not registered. Your business is not registered.
Yes, it is registered.
Okay.
But we tend to pay SOL, right? To send the thing to Swiss or Gross Britain.
So you make exports.
Yes.
Okay, that's product, not services, right?
Yes, it's a product.
Okay, then the export, it's VAT tax-free in this case.
Also to the other country.
Yes, if you export it to another country, then in general it's tax-free in the origin country, so it's Germany. And theoretically, then it's the regulation of the different nations. You need to pay the tax in, let's say, in UK, for example, for the import, or you have agreement with your client that they will make the import for you, so they pay the import directly. It's especially in the case you have private or business clients. I don't know, because business clients most of the time have this reverse charge system. The private one don't exist, because yeah, they couldn't pay any VAT because they're not registered as a business owner. So that but for Germany, it's tax for German VAT, it's tax free. So no VAT about that in Germany.
Okay,
Maybe
there will be
in
also
UK.
not a problem with the soil or something like that.
With the toll, it's depend which products you have. I mean, they don't care about the exports. The toll is it's most of the time care about the imports, not the exports, because that's depend on the regulations. But I guess especially for Switzerland and UK, the regulations are not so difficult, because yeah, the foods and so on are still the same, and I mean, Great Britain already was in the EU, so I guess they adapted most of the regulations for the import. So, and Switzerland still working with the EU, so they have still standard systems for this. But yeah, theoretically you need to to give the information to the toll as well for the import as well for the Great Britain or the Switzerland part.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Sascha, I saw one hand raised.
Yeah.
Still, maybe you can help for the.
I'm freeze.
Ja, okay. Thank you, Laura. Bitte schön.
Yeah, danke schön. Vielen Dank. Thank you. I have one question. If I am I'm an employee and I work 50%, just 50%. And if I want to be a Freiberufler dazu, is it gonna be a problem for me if I gain more money from my Freiberufler Beruf in comparison to my feste Anstellung? How will it be regulated for the tax? And will I have, do you know about the Krankenversicherung, if I gonna have problem with that, if my income from Freiberufler is more than the 50% maximum if I want to go to work again after I give birth to my second child soon. So
yeah, for the tax regulations, it's not important you are employee or full-time or part-time, and you have a business full-time or part-time. They still say, okay, your whole income will be taxed with the tax rate, with the individual tax rate, and then it's fine. And the VAT, of course, if you earn more with your business and it's over 22,000, then of course, then the question about the VAT invoicing would be here important to talking about. But yeah, about the problem would be, as you asked about the public insurance, because actually, I guess you have the status as an employee for the public insurance. If the business it's bigger and you still use more time for the business and not for your employee, you're not a employee, you're still a business person in the end, for the point of view of this public insurances. Usually you should go to your Krankenversicherung and ask and talking about this situation right now, and they will check which status you will get from them. That's important, because when you are still an employee, then it's fine for them. Then you still pay the insurance fees over your salary, and then it's fine. If they say, okay, you are a business owner in the perspective of the law, then of course your total income will be the base for the fees of the public insurance. But the good part would be The public insurance for a business owner, which you need to pay, would be still the health insurance and still the health insurance. The other insurances are still, you're out of them, so you don't need to pay in the pension insurance for your business income, for example. But yeah, this part you need to check with your individual Krankenversicherung, your health insurance.
Okay, because if I want to start like the Kleinunternehmer, but I'm an employee still, but because of this 50%, my income will be not so big. So if I work a lot from the Kleinunternehmer, then so I could have more income from that. So in vergleich to them.
Compared to them, that's the rules about the public interest are more difficult than the tax regulations in Germany, to be honest. They still not checking only about the sum of money. They check about the time you use for your different incomes, right? If you, let's say, in the extreme situation, 90% of your time you're still an employee, and 10% you make with a profitable business, and you make much more money with the business than with your job as an employee. Then you're still and sometimes you are still an employee for the public insurance. That's a little bit more difficult, especially the regulations are very complicated in the public insurance. That's why the only one who could give you a letter which prove your status could be the public insurance, also the health insurance only, because they have the only regulate power to make sure about that. I still could advise what could be possible, but in the end, they will tell you what's correct in the end.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So we are coming to the end of the webinar today. I think it would be nice when we take a photo together. Yeah, please switch on the camera for everybody who could switch on the camera. Oh, we are only 21. It was like 36. Okay, so almost half left. Okay. Okay. I will take a photo. 1, 2, 3. Okay, shortly. Okay, we'll see that. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Sascha, thank you very much for today. We received essential information regarding Freelancer and how to open the business in Germany. Dear friends, maybe now you are thinking or in a couple of days about opening a business or to become a freelancer in Germany, but you don't want to face any problem regarding the tax issue. For this matter, you know that you can contact Mr. Sascha. Okay. Again, Mr. Sascha, we would like to thank you for the time and also for the information that you have shared today. Thank you and good day for the rest of the day.
Sama-sama, and have a nice weekend.
Terima kasih. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih banyak.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.